Chapter number 5. Ooh, McLaren.
How about a car with some actual legroom and some actual speed? This section's about what happened when McLaren decided to make a road car. You're going to enjoy this.
Plan F1, 1993.
The track and the road have very different requirements. For McLaren, that was a challenge they were more than willing to embrace. In 1988, they set out to create the finest sports car the world has ever seen. By 1993, they had achieved their goal, and the honestly fantastic F1 was the result. 106 will be built across all variants, and it remains one of the very best road cars ever made. The F1 has no turbocharger. That would have compromised the driving experience, increased complexity, and resulted in turbo lag. The F1 is a naturally aspirated supercar, one of the fastest in the world, in fact. Everything about this car is innovative, from the carbon fiber monocoque to the central driver position. McLaren threw the book away when they designed the F1, then they wrote a better one. The F1's monocoque chassis is incredibly light.
May snap it back a little bit earlier.
Kilos all told, which posed a significant challenge because carbon fiber and fiberglass aren't great insulators. So, McLaren lined the entire engine compartment with gold.
And they had gold on the exhaust. Fun fact for you.
McLaren's racing heritage is so deeply ingrained in this machine that when they took it to Le Mans in 1995 and faced off against purpose-built racing machines, they won.
The absolute GOAT.
So, with something like the F1 to live up to, where do you go next?
Car P1.
Well, you throw the book away again and write an even better one. The result is the McLaren P1, a hybrid electric sports car that stands head and shoulders above the F1.
Let's go.
The P1 GTR will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's 0.7 seconds faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar. The car's blistering performance is delivered by a twin-turbo V8, supplemented by a McLaren ECU electric motor and instant power assist system. And they do mean instant.
Well, that was an awful run into that.
Remember those problems with turbo lag? McLaren solved that with the hybrid drive. While
There you go.
the turbos build pressure, the electric motor drives the wheels. No turbo lag, just torque. And because it's a hybrid, it has an all-electric range. Running on batteries alone,
And let's try this once again.
hit 60 miles an hour in
Because I was an idiot and forgot to actually turn around and say where we're going.
faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar.
So yeah, last time I kind of went round the road and got 100 or 200 odd, which wasn't obviously the.
Turbo lag. McLaren solves that with the hybrid drive.
So I wanted to get 3 stars on this because I want to get 3 stars on everything so far.
No turbo lag, just torque. And because it's a hybrid, it has an all-electric range. Running on batteries alone, that's 6.2 miles. A bit more if you're going downhill.
Oh, got Sprite NK1, Austin Healy. Let's move. And chapter 3 of British Racing Green documentary. Got the Lotus.
I know I am. It's great to be able to just focus on telling the story while someone else handles the driving for once. Let's get to the next one. This time, it's Lotus. Lotus Engineering Limited began as many stories in British engineering do, in an old barn. The first Lotus cars were offered as kits. You built them yourself. From 1962, they began to actually build the cars themselves. The Elan Sprint showed exactly what they intended to do.
Shortcut. Let's go.
Designer Colin Chapman famously said, adding power makes you faster on the straights. Subtracting weight makes you faster everywhere. He knew what he was talking about.
In 100 meters, turn right.
Kicked it in the bend, so I should have probably had my handbrake on a wee bit earlier.
In 100 meters, turn left.
Widely hailed as one of the greatest sports cars of the 1960s, the Elan would be closely studied and emulated, inspiring such masterpieces as the Mazda MX-5. The Elan has all the energy, style, and enthusiasm you would expect. Bold, quick, and fun. So much so that they put it in the name.
There we go. Right, that's Lotus Part 1 done. Now Lotus Part 2, what are we getting? The Elise.
The Elan Sprint was a financial as well as an engineering success for Lotus, validating their approach to design and resulting in a whole family of light, agile roadsters. Which brings us to this, the Lotus Exige. It's heavier than the Elan, admittedly, but it's faster. Much, much faster.
Let's get it.
Touch the pedal, the Exige responds with instant, relentless acceleration, as you'd expect.
Fun enough, my dad tried getting one of these and my dad struggled to get in and out of the car because it's more designed for someone under 5'8", so yeah.
The Exige is uncompromising.
So what the Exige can do in the game.
And there's no power steering, so you can really feel the road. A genuinely thrilling drive, and one that isn't afraid to demand you take it seriously.
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
I was hopeful. You know what, I want to redo that part because I actually want to get 3 stars and everything in this one, but we will see how they go.
Touch the pedal, the Exige.
Let me try something. Is that fun? Yeah, it's fundamental. The most optimized route.
As you'd expect. With a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 170 before upgrades and tuning, the Exige is uncompromising.
It's also unforgiving as well.
feel the road. A genuinely thrilling drive, and one that isn't afraid to demand you take it seriously.
400 meters. Turn left. Turn left.
Nope, we're not making it through that gap. That's for sure. I don't know how you're supposed to do that quickly. I think I might be getting just 2 stars in this one.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
And with rumoured launches of 2 new cars in 2020, Lotus looks set to push the benchmark of the experienced sports car
2 stars.
well into the next century.
I knew it was 2 stars. You know what? We'll take 2 stars. I know that when I done the first run, there was no chance I was getting 3 stars, but I'm not going to go back and over and over and over again until I get the 5 stars. Just no, we're not doing that. Let's cut to the next one. Hey guys and girls, it's Vic33, and today we are playing Forza Horizon 4. We are doing the British Racing Green Forza Horizon story. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And continuing on with the British Raceway, Greenway, let's see where we are.
I honestly
So we've
think
got
these
number
are
9,
some of the
Jaguar.
most beautiful cars in the world. And the story of how it came about is, well, really British. Get in the car and let's get this segment.
Jaguar C-Type.
Jaguar is a bit of a favourite of mine. The company is almost 100 years old and was originally founded to build sidecars for motorcycles. But this is the car that really set the bar, I think. The 1961 E-Type. When he saw it, Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car in the world. High praise indeed. He wasn't alone in his admiration. Accolades have followed this car ever since.
Target fixation, real bad for it.
It's been in movies, comics, games, and TV shows.
And we're just going to keep fit all the way planted.
It was solid too, with a design based on the D-Type that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 years in a row.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Anyone who owns an E-Type will tell you that the key to their reliability is to drive them regularly, as if you'd need the excuse.
Easily done.
About 2,500 were built, and they're a common sight at auto shows, and surprisingly reasonably priced. All in all, an almost perfect Jaguar.
And then we get, well, in 2023 they almost killed the brand.
The E-Type was the successor to the Le Mans winning D-Type. But what would that look like if Jaguar designed it today? In 2013, Jaguar answered that question with the F-Type Project 7, a spiritual successor to the E-Type, and designed from the ground up to be the purest, most enjoyable Jaguar yet.
See how good it really is.
The car's heritage is proudly displayed in the gorgeous D-Type curves and the distinctive aero hunch behind the driving position. But like the E-Type, it's not just a pretty place. Powered by a 5-litre V8 supercharged engine, With a fully aluminium body, it's blisteringly fast, with a 0 to 60 speed of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 186 miles an hour. A car as beautiful as this must surely have been a carefully authored design. Actually, it started as a sketch by designer Cesar Pieri, thrown together one Friday in his free time. Jaguar's design director, Ian Callum, saw the sketch in a thumbnail on Cesar's computer during a meeting and asked him what it was. The rest is history. 250 Project 7s were built, as both a successor to the E-Type and as a celebration of Jaguar's victories at Le Mans.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I think I speak for all of us
There we
when
go.
I say, thank heavens for Cesar's Friday afternoon doodle.
Quite happy with that because that's another 3 stars. And another wheel spin. What are we getting? I'll take that. And to the next one. And to chapter number 9, I believe this will be.
We're almost done, but we've saved the good stuff for last. A spot of rallying in the most British car of them all. Get in, strap in, and let's nail this one.
The Mini Cooper.
There is one car built in Great Britain that is quite fairly considered one of the most influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini.
Good old Mini Cooper.
It was built to be a performance machine with deeper engines, twin carburetors, and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s.
I didn't know you had to stay in the road, but oh well.
In 1999, the Car of the Century Award was presented to the most influential car of the 20th century. The Mini came second. It was beaten by the Model T Ford. That's fair, I suppose. 5.3 million Minis would be sold, making it the most popular British car.
And it's a happy little nugget. Oh god.
In 2000, BMW resumed production of the Mini, breathing new life into the iconic mark. If the Mini of the 1960s had its sights set on the roads of Monte Carlo, the X-Rayed Countryman has its eyes on something a little tougher. The desert
Let's go.
and rough terrain of the Dakar for starters. A wit once said that the only thing Mini in this monster was the pedal, as rather missing the point. The X-Rayed Countryman is much, much bigger than the Mini Cooper. It has to be. A stage of the Dakar demands literally tons of gear. You could call it a tank. It does rather sound like one.
I saw that coming a mile away.
When Mini's X-Rayed division set out to build this thing, they had one goal in mind: winning the Dakar. And they did, every year, from 2012 to 2015.
In 400 meters, turn right.
designed to be driven for 2 weeks over deserts and badlands, 5 kilometers above sea level. And it still handles like a hot hatch on a nice bit of dry air.
We're going straight line.
Owners come and go. The heritage of a car like the Mini is more than who owns the keys to the shop.
I don't think that's the
I
SARS.
fully expect to see Mini's wings flying for another century.
You know what? We'll take the loss. We'll take the 2 stars in this because I really cannot be bored restarting it to go all the way back over and then do it again. So yeah, we'll take a loss in that. And let's see where we go for the last episode or last chapter. Last chapter, where are we going? Austin, maybe? Bentley? Bentley.
This is quite the story. Bentley at Le Mans in the 1930s. Gentlemen racers, heroic driving, and a personal hero of mine. Take good care of the cars, though. Both of them are mine.
Let's go, Bentley!
Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those 2 extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions.
Jesus! That car took it right out the wing. Let's go.
The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed.
Of course it didn't.
You're right, not to worry. Reset and let's try another take.
Let's go. Hopefully our car doesn't come and hit me head on again.
Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those 2 extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions.
The big burly motor though.
The move to mass production has done nothing.
When I saw that. There.
2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed. It brings together all-wheel drive, carbon fiber bonnet sides and side skirts to create the most powerful, performance-focused car the company has ever built.
I hate it when they don't move.
Bentley's pedigree is racing, and the Bentley Continental embraces that. In 2007, a largely standard Continental Speed GT broke Bugatti's record for the flying kilometre on the frozen Baltic Sea. And then in 2011, they broke their own record. 205 miles an hour, both ways, on ice. Even when building these gorgeous Grand Tours, Bentley is driven to excellence. Bentley means modern, peerless luxury and elegance. But that's far from the full story.
Oh, we managed to cut a little bit of time off that one.
A century ago, Bentley meant something else entirely. It meant Le Mans. In 1930, eccentric race team owner Dorothy Paget financed a rather special Bentley at the Le Mans. It was a 4.5-litre supercharged masterpiece, driven by Sir Henry Bentley Boy Birkin. It posted the fastest time on the day, but it failed to finish. But what a race it was! Sir Henry's courageous driving forced Rudolf Caracciola's 7-litre Mercedes out of the race at the cost of his own victory. But in doing so, he handed the day to the Bentley Sixes. A gentleman racer indeed.
We're gradually getting there.
Sir Henry knew he didn't have anything to prove. In 1929, the adventurer Mrs. Mary Victor Bruce had already driven the resolutely modern 4.5-litre Bentley at Montlhéry, setting distance, speed and endurance records. The Bentley's performance so annoyed Ettore Bugatti that he called it the world's fastest lorry. The blower had the last
Jeez
laugh.
whiz.
In 2012, it was sold at auction for over £4 million, which is more than enough to buy a Veyron and a racing truck, if you're keeping score.
Jeez whiz. Well, we got 2 stars in the whole sequence, so you know what? We will call it an episode there. We'll get this all signed off. We got the 3000 NK3 Austin Healey. And I believe that is an end to the British racing.
Like I told them,
There we are.
I'll make a film about car culture around here without you in it, can they? I'll let you know if they need you back.
And is there any more? So we've done that, done that, done that. We've done that, we've done that, we've done them. Done them, and we have done all the businesses. So without further ado, thank you for watching this episode, and without further ado, adios. And chapter number 2, celebrating British history. What are we getting?
This is shaping up nicely. Time for a change of pace, though. At least at first. The next segment is about Land Rover, and we'll be starting out with the Type 3.
Let's go. The Land Rover Discovery.
Land Rover, the British sports utility vehicle. But before that, they were actual utility vehicles. Solid, tough trucks, unstoppable over almost any terrain.
400 meters. Turn left. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Chuck up.
Recalculating route.
Land Rovers have taken on almost every task imaginable. They've been generators, tractors and ambulances. They've brought peace and carried medicines to disaster zones. They've even been buses. Over 500,000 Series 3s were built, and over 70% of those are still on the road today. They were extensively exported and built under license abroad. Belgium, South Africa, even Australia and New Zealand. With a robust chassis and signature Land Rover engineering, the Type 3 also marked the first time that buyers could choose interior options, like seat box protectors and cover boxes.
It is true though, the Land Rover Discovery is literally a staple in British society.
400 meters. Turn right.
Jesus.
100 meters.
We
Turn
are
sharp
plundering through.
While the stock Type 3 would never be particularly fast uphill, there is almost no hill that it couldn't climb. Or down, for that matter, if you put a proper winch on it.
Recalculating route. In 400 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Along with the Range
And there we
Rover,
go.
others would follow. Discovery, Defender, and the Freelander. Each a more sophisticated and enjoyable utility vehicle. But none of them were a replacement for the Type 3. They were a different kind of car.
They were. They were. And now we got
Type
the
3 was
bowler.
arguably the first sports utility vehicle, an evolution of the design that would lead ultimately to this. The Bowler Nemesis, an off-road racing vehicle that turned into a production SUV, the Nemesis EXR.
Let's get Nemesis EXR and let's see what we can do.
Turbocharged 5-litre Land Rover Jaguar engine, crammed into a carbon fibre chassis with integral roll cage. It even has the grille, headlights and rear lights from a Range Rover. All-terrain supercar. That's the only fair description for this. But that's what you get when you build an SUV with Land Rover DNA.
3 stars again, let's go. Let's move to the next one. Boom and boom, let's go. Oh, we got a wheel spin. What are we getting? Pneumatic horn. Nah, don't use it. But next one, let's go. And on to the next one, let's go. Let's see what we get.
I quite like sleeper cars. Did Alex ever tell you the story of what we got up to in Colorado? There was this sleeper car competition, you see. Let's just say no one was ready for the sunbeam.
What is Carlton? What a car.
Lotus never quite let go of the upgrade game. So in addition to building their own supercars, they upgraded cars from other marques too. The Lotus Carlton was one such aftermarket upgrade. Lotus took a respectable 4-door Vauxhall saloon and turned it into a supercar.
More famous with the registration RA40.
This is something special. Wider wheel arches, that sort of thing. But under the bonnet, that's where the magic starts.
This is also a car they tried to ban in the UK. Because the police couldn't catch it.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
The tyres were widened, and the tyre compound from the Lotus Esprit was used. To handle camber change issues, they put in the self-leveling suspension from the Opel Senator.
In 200 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
That's going to be cutting it close.
Only 950 of these custom gems were built, and they've become something of a modern classic. The Lotus Carlton was an example of how to turn a saloon into a supercar, but that's not the only thing Lotus got up to. In 1979, Chrysler approached Lotus to create a strict rally version of their Sunbeam three-door hatchback. Lotus, as you might imagine, rather enjoyed the challenge.
Good old Sunbeam, let's go.
They took the rear-wheel drive hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the anti-roll bars, and widened the transmission tunnel. Was increased by fitting a 2.2-litre version of the Lotus 911 slant four-cylinder engine,
Shortcut.
resulting in an impressive 250 brake horsepower, up from a meager 105 on the original.
We'll go from here and we'll hopefully beeline it. There you go.
Lotus should do more conversions. It's a silly question, actually. Lotus should do more conversions. In fact, I'll call them right now.
That is another 3 stars under their belts. Let's go. And we are back doing the DB5 into the DB11, but thanks to the recording software I use, it decided not to record anything.
You've made a name for yourself, and it would be great to have you aboard. It's simple. You drive, I tell the story. Let's do it.
So let's redo this whole thing once again. And let's so begin.
From Aston Martin to McLaren and Bentley, Great Britain is home to over a century of automotive excellence. I'm Rebecca Dawson. Welcome to British Racing Green, a documentary celebrating that history.
I'm taking shortcuts because I've already done this whole thing, but unfortunately the software I was using, OBS, decided not to record for some reason. Which is a little bit annoying, but gotta do what we gotta do. Ow. Alright, let's see what we can do to try and get this done.
The Vantage featured side draft carburetors and a refined camshaft profile, capable of a blistering top speed of 162 miles an hour in 1964.
Let's be honest though, the roads in 1964 might not have been ideal to hit 164, nor do I think the tyres would have been.
Created a car that was luxurious as well as fast.
Slightly shortcut.
This car would form the basis for the DB range, with later cars improving on the design in many ways, but none would ever achieve the sheer iconic perfection of the Vantage.
In 100 meters, turn left.
For all of its beauty and engineering perfection, only 65 of these beautiful machines would ever be built. If you own one, you own a piece of British history.
In 200 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
The silver DB5 would be immortalized in half a century of cinema. The classic Aston Martin.
Cool, let's jump to DB11 in orange.
But in 2016, a new DB was unveiled, heralding the dawn of Aston Martin's second century. The DB11 is the first production turbocharged Aston Martin. But is it a worthy successor to that legacy?
Let's see how it goes. Oh, I know it can do it.
Is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile. It's perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it.
It can do it. I can tell you that much, but there's some corners you need to cut, unfortunately.
Able to hit 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, the DB11's 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 boasts a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. The DB11 is not
And of course I wasn't paying attention. There we go.
fastest car in the world, but then it's not trying to be. It's sophisticated, effortless luxury. It's an Aston Martin.
Truck up. I should have laid on the brakes a bit more there.
The DB11's front strakes channel air to create a virtual spoiler, providing downforce without compromising the car's clean lines. Brilliant. Most importantly, I think, the DB11 proves that Aston Martin is ready for another century of beautiful cars.
And shortcut.
Can't wait. Beautiful as
And
they are,
like that.
Aston Martins are only one of many cars made in the United Kingdom. Let's see what else is out there.
1, 2, and 3. Happy days, let's go. And move to next chapter, shall we? Chapter 5, I think. Oh god.
You know, I really like this car. Not that I'd want to drive it for too long. Squeeze yourself in there and let's see just how fast you can make it go. Which won't be too fast. But hey, I could be surprised.
The Peel P50.
The Peel P50 has the dubious honour of being the smallest production car in the world. A one-door microcar coupe, featuring a 42cc air-cooled engine, capable of a heinous 38 miles an hour. And a handle, so you can pick it up and carry it with you when you get to work. And keep in mind that this is the production version. The prototype had the single wheel at the front. Why would you think that was a good idea?
Yeah, gives you memories of Reliant Robin. Are we going to hit 43? Nope. Hey, we did actually.
Production restarted at Sutton and Ashfield. So, if you'd like to own the modern incarnation of this, I suppose you can.
But that was a bit of a short run. We're not going to argue with it because it's an R1 done. Let's move to the next one. And chapter number 4 of British Racing Green.
Done much rallying? That's a joke. We've all seen what you've been up to. We're doing the next bit on location. You'll see why when you get there.
Yeah, there's no chance we're taking the Kuns out because that's definitely not British. Yeah, I think I made it. I was like a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Ford.
That most American of cars. But the Ford Escort, oh, that's British. And more than that, the Escort would become for many synonymous with Group B. In the 70s, Ford had embraced that destiny so firmly that they'd begun their own championships to find new drivers. Drivers for cars like the RS 1800.
Let's go.
This was a car designed explicitly for rallying, with a powerful fuel-injected 1790cc Cosworth BDE engine. Homologation rules required that all cars entered into the group be production, so Ford built 200 of them. That was not bad.
Really?
Can we make it a little more majestic?
Okay, they want majestic, we'll give them majestic.
This was a car designed explicitly for rallying, with a powerful fuel-injected 1790cc Cosworth BDE engine.
I'm going to try and do the shortcut.
him. The RS 1800
Shortcut.
brought home 17 World Rally Championship victories for Ford.
I didn't even know you. I didn't think in that shortcut, but oh, we got the RS 200.
Ford set out to design a better one. The RS 200 Evolution was their answer. A purpose-built rally car designed to do one thing: win Group B.
Let's go.
With a 1.8 turbocharged Ford Cosworth BDT engine and all-wheel drive, the RS 200 had perhaps the best suspension platform of any car of its era. The chassis
See him
was
again.
fiberglass from Reliant, and a massive Ford parts bin was raided to give the car that iconic look.
Done.
Unfortunately, Ford built over 200 as part of the homologation requirements for Group B, so you can still find them, if you're lucky.
I think we got 2 stars in that one quite easily. Nothing to do with bend the rules. Oh, we got that one quite posh out, and we got a wheel spin off it as well. Rear spring sweater. Meh. Something I'm going to wear in the game, but let's go.